Greetings, comrades! Welcome back to Star Trek Armada II with the Fleet Operations mod and the Evolution mod. It's been a few days since the last episode, so I think it is high time for us to continue our campaign against the Klingons, who are still trying to test our border defenses along the neutral zone. Let's have a look at that. Everything is paused, so I have to scroll the long way again. Luckily now, since we have the replacement fleet here, things are going quite well. We have to start making some incursions into their territory, just so we can cripple their military machine, if you want to call it that. Just so we can stop their attacks. Now obviously that will mean eventually wiping them out from this side of the map, but it's purely a defensive measure because we've seen how many times they attacked us. So we are definitely not the aggressors in this conflict. So let's continue. Unpause. There we go again. Same story, so not much hope for them. So along the neutral zone here we also have these various sensor stations with at least 4 phaser turrets with each. So that's also been working very well. It's impossible to sneak through the nebula and obviously survive. So that looks good. Let's have a look at our shipyards and what we can do. We're still busy decommissioning these old veterans here, and it's sad to see them go, but it is a necessary part of progress. So let's just have a look. We have plenty of supply. Our resource stocks are now very good here, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. And here they are trying to sneak through. Actually, I think we need to slow things down again. Let's just have a look here at the settings. It seems to reset every time. Yes, I don't want it like that. It has to be there. And let's just make sure, is it still on hard difficulty? Yes, it is. I don't know if it changes after you start the game. But anyway, just so it looks a little bit more manageable here. I don't want everyone running on super speed. So they're attacking again with a Hachpeng. Quite a few of them, and some of their newer ships. I think these Hyperion class ships of ours are holding up quite well. This one is going to bite the dust soon. Life support has failed. Let's send it back for repairs immediately. I think everyone will die before they get back to the shipyard. So we'll just try and reinforce the crew. It takes quite a long time to repair the life support systems. Well, increases the risk. So let's have a look at the shipyards. We were busy building the Hyperions last. So the next 4 ships that we still had to look at for this era are the Paris Class, which is a full-fledged destroyer in the guise of a small exploration cruiser. So if we compare again now with the Hyperion class, we see that the Paris class is much weaker in its defense, but not much weaker in its offense. We see it's only 1 weaker in its offense, and its system value is also a small amount weaker there. So I guess this is a good way to just get a... reinforcements are coming through for the Klingons. That's a good way to get some cheap reinforcements for us. They won't last long in battle, but they do pack quite a punch. Then after that we can get the Asia class, which is a test bed for several new technologies, and it is designed as a science cruiser, not a warship, but it does have prototype photon torpedoes. Now what we've been using thus far, I'm not sure, but I guess it's not a modern photon torpedo. So that's 29, 46 and 8. So it is better in every respect than the Hyperion except for the system value. So here we see now a direction towards the science vessels being quite formidable. So it's definitely a step. It's one of my ships. No, it was the one with the life support that was off. They stole it. There it goes. Can we reinforce it quickly? Ha, got it. As long as there's crew on, the Ferengi will let it go. I guess we'll just keep beaming them. Get your repairs. Weapons are offline, sensors are offline, and life support is still offline. Casualty rates are quite high. Almost done decommissioning the ships there. Right, Hathor, you can now recrew. So at least we saved that one. Right there, it's done already. So it takes super long to do the repairs when it's just the crew, but it's very fast with a space dock. Now, I think let's begin researching these new ship designs. We'll do that here at our old headquarters. I'm not sure if we're going to focus that much on the combat-focused long-range cruiser, the Paris class. We might go straight for the Asia class. That's the multi-purpose star cruiser. Let's do that.
Research commencing.
Right now we don't really have a need for destroyer-type vessels. That was a big explosion. And a small little scout, no doubt trying to see what's happening on our side of the neutral zone. And these ones, again, just moving to within sensor range, but not weapons range. So yes, we'll see.
Enemy engaged.
Long dead by the time we get there. There we go. So with this ship we are moving definitely towards the heavier classes. Let's just see what comes after the Asia. The Lancaster Class. So that is designed to defend the Federation's... Hey, we can now build that. Designed to defend the Federation's outlying colonies, the Lancaster Class is Starfleet's first attempt to create a fully flexible multi-role ship. So let's compare 2946 and 3149 and 10. So it's even better than the Asia class. I think let's build a few of the Asia class just to begin with. And then after that I'll queue up the Lancaster, because I assume again the Asia is the test bed. So obviously we need the test first before we can build the subsequent results of those tests. Then I think we'll also research that destroyer, just because again having more ships in the inventory is not a bad thing.
Enemy engaged.
Just die already. Now we need to have some more intel on what's happening on their side. So let's see who is up for the challenge. I think we'll send one of these Asia class ships to do exploring. There's a bit of a massing of ships here. It's hopeless. We are completely secure now. I doubt if they'll have any kind of response to these defenses. We never know, but I'm not sure if the AI is up to the task really. They gave us a very good run for our money for most of the game so far, but now with these defenses, the tide has definitely turned against them. So what else can we build? Lancaster, I think as soon as the one is done there we can get the Paris. Let's build a few of them. We can throw them on a patrol or something, just so we have them. Ah, isn't that magnificent? So there is our first Asia class. Let's inspect it. So this can again be the thumbnail for this episode, print screen. So now we see again even more of a movement towards the Constitution. The sources section is a bit elongated here, so we can see it's still different, but also the shape of the secondary hull is not quite the same. But I like this one. This is a very nice design. So this is the Yukon. So Yukon, please get here. Oh, you're still in the view mode there. Get to this point. It seems like they're trying some attempt here to break through our defenses.
Station is under attack.
Now the loss of their shields through the nebula, it's something they can't recover from. But again, this is quite clever. They are trying it all along the front to break through. But we're ready for them. We've seen this before.
Starship complete.
Small scout is ruined quite quickly. And there's one of our new destroyers. Let's have a look at that. This is the Oslo. So yes, very interesting. It's almost reminiscent in a way to the Dragon class that we used so much with all of these turrets. But then again, it's got a much more modern design. Interesting.
Starship complete. Enemy engaged.
Maybe we'll send these new ships. What is this one called? The Africa. Okay, never mind. Anything I said before, this is my new flagship. So we still have the Hercules here, which is a Hyperion class. Your old news now, my friend. Let us pick that plus the Oslo and send them to the front lines. I'll put them on a patrol. Anything else to research? Nothing, and I'm sure nothing again. No, we've done it all. That's why it's again a good idea to pace yourself. Now, these things are for the next era. There's only one left for this era, and that is a carrier ship. And this is the Swordfish, which I also love. So the Swordfish and its fighters are the Federation's answer to the Klingons' excellent fighter wings. So now finally we've developed a response to that. And it can launch and coordinate up to 12 Puffin-class fighters. And we can have 5 of them in total. So let's research that. This will be good for defending the final assault fleet that we send into Klingon space. So you, my friend, the Hercules, actually no, we don't want to send the Hercules anywhere. Where's the other one I sent? Here, the Yukon. Shouldn't be in the nebula, but we can see it's already taken a bit of a hit. Let's put this on number 6, that's one that's not occupied yet.
Engage engines.
And then we will send it exploring, but I'll do this myself. We just want to see where they are mining at this point. So they're not using this
Starship
resource here. That's quite inefficient. They should have made use of all of these moons, but these two are not used. Let's just make sure these two are not used.
Engines.
Yellow alert. Only fire when you are fired upon, because we're in enemy territory right now.
Enemy engaged.
Speaking of,
Divert power to weapons.
let's see what you can do in battle. But again, they're not really bothered. They just keep going on their previous mission. Back to yellow alert.
Set a course.
No one is mining here. So let's have a look at our old starting location. Now, where's those ships? Alright, the two of you can start with patrols. It's tab right click all along the way. And proceed. Even more of a screen against their attacks. Then we have 2 more here. I guess we'll
Starship
just put them here, put them on low movement autonomy. They'll back up the fleet there. There's another one. Same story.
Engines to full. Understood.
Now, can we build the Swordfish yet? Yes, yes. Okay, let's do that. So this is 40, 44 and 18. If we compare it, it's very strong actually. Not quite as strong as the Lancaster Class, but
Enemy engaged.
definitely it can hold its own, especially with those fighters. So I'll queue up one at each of the star bases or construction yards.
Starship construction commencing.
And then
Starship
one
construction
extra right
commencing.
there. No! Oh, thought the ship was destroyed. No, it's just right here. So no one is mining here either. Now, I want to see what happened here where our other explorer ship was destroyed. Who did that? Right, there's a fleet coming through. That's a new class.
Station is under attack.
Kisarza class. No shields, no luck for you. Right, fall back. So the mining stations actually have their own fighter fleet.
Set a course.
Which I like. It's clever, but then again, last time it didn't work out in our favor. But let's begin harassing their mining ships.
Engaged.
Red alert. All hands to battle stations. We do to them what they did to us so many times. And there's only one mining ship here. No, don't attack the fighters. Fall back. The next target is here. Now, where's my carriers? As soon as that's done, I think we'll move to the next era. There's nothing really else for us to
Starship
build
complete.
here.
Starship complete.
Now let's have a look at these ships.
Station is under attack.
Now that's very interesting. Where's the warp engines? Maybe they don't technically have warp engines. I'm not sure. Or it's embedded inside this tail. But where would be the... Well, we can see there the 1 and the 2. That's the shuttle base, then the fighter base. And I like this little swordfish on the side. So I guess the engine is in the back there somehow.
Station
Right, we
is
just wait
under
for the
attack.
last one to be built, and then I will deploy them right here because it seems this is where the enemy is trying a lot. Fall back immediately.
Returning to port.
Did we destroy anything here? Maybe. But now it's another flight to the border again, just like before. But this time they're much stronger. Their shields were able to resist that quite a lot. So the Yukon can return safely home. Doesn't really need repairs, but I'll send them anyway. Yes, fighters, we will not take this anymore. 99999, and the titanium will also accumulate. So resources we have no more troubles with. That's it. So you are going to be fleet number 4. I doubt I'll remember all of this, but you will go here, and I will put you on no movement autonomy, but red alert. And
Give the word.
you can also use any special weapons that you have, but you don't have any. So there they go with their swarm of fighters. Now it's time to move on, comrades. So this is now the original series. Click, and it happens. No fanfare, but we'll pretend. Of course, this would be a gradual thing anyway. So there's a construction ship. Let's upgrade it so now it doesn't change again. Nothing else to build, but the turrets 3848. Let's see how does that compare. No, wait, 30 and 48. No, it's the same. So it's only in the second era that the turrets are upgraded. So let's see what we can build now. This is always the interesting thing because it's like a present every time. So the Intrepid remains the same. The Capella class is now the mine ships, and that is the one that we saw here at the start for some reason. That was clearly a glitch. Capella class, exactly. So that wasn't supposed to show up at that point. Then, let's see. The next one is, of course, the Paris class, so we can keep that. We can also keep the Lancaster and the Asia. So now we have so many new options. The next one would be the Mercury class, and that is the first truly specific ship in Starfleet. And it's a scout, a nimble scout. Let's get the scout. We need a destroyer. So let's research a destroyer. Destroyer, there we go. So they will be our eyes and ears. But for now, I think I'll send the Yukon again to explore. You have full movement autonomy and you are on yellow alert. I'm sure we'll see it destroyed at some point. Now, I pity anyone who messes with these carriers because they are not alone. Ferengi! Maybe we could... What are you doing now? It's one of the Klingon ships. We could even take over the Ferengi ship there because its shield was down, but never mind. Yes, turn back. Bad idea. Ah, it's done already. So the first thing that we then have is the Mercury Class, our scout. And that is followed by the Kestrel Class, which, unlike the Paris, is a starship designed solely for combat duties. And we can see it's 40, 40 and 9. Let's compare that with our Hyperion class ships. 26, 41 and 8. So the offense is much greater and the defense is not much worse. Then that is followed by the Detroit class, based on the Asia. It's a small, cheap and fast destroyer with a mediocre armament. So 33 defense and 17 offense. So we can see it's quite weak compared to the Kestrel there. But it is a little bit cheaper. I think just for the sake of it again, we're going to build one of each. That's our scout. That's our small destroyer. And that is our Detroit class cheap destroyer. Not really that much cheaper, but anyway. But these ships are doing very well. Now you see, if I played now as the Klingons, I would be massing all of my ships somewhere in secret, and then in one attempt I will punch through one of these defensive positions. We were still actually building turrets here. So let us do that.
That is a logical request.
And then it would be a serious battle, because of course then I would call all my ships to the fight. So it's doubtful if the Klingons could do much now, other than possibly building up their own defenses. Just fight back. They run. So much for Klingon honor.
Ahead full.
Now, I think you are...
Starship complete.
Should we just sacrifice them? I don't want to do that. No, you can just go to the border and support the fleet there.
Enemy engaged.
So red alert, no movement autonomy. Right, so let's have a look at these ships. This is the fun part, really. Well, all of it is fun, but I like this.
We're good to go.
So interesting again, we have these forward turrets. This one looks more of a... What would this be? Like a Stingray almost. Definitely has the warp engines though. Looks like it has small shuttle bays on the sides there. Now let's look at the...
Just tell me where to go.
Mercury. That is named the Mercury, and it's an NX, so it's the ship of the line. So let's have a look at you. So this is the Scout. Definitely smaller than the others, but again it's really looking more and more like the Constitution. Unfortunately I can't zoom in any more than that. Right, so you are going to be our explorer. 179 is a lot of people for such a small ship. You will go on yellow alert, no, green alert. Full exploration, full special ability. Not that you have any. Hopefully now if they do see enemies, they'll rather turn back. So let's see what this is.
All sections on standby.
The Lion, the Detroit class. So this is based on the Asia, they said. So I guess it's the saucer section from the Asia, plus the nacelles, but no engineering section. And right there's the deflector dish. Such excellent modeling work here. I have to salute the mod developer. There's the shuttle base on the back. Such an attention to detail.
Adjust heading.
Now, What are we really looking for? That's of course the Constitution, so we'll get there. The next one is the Escort Class.
Enemy engaged.
Escort Cruiser, I don't know if that was the right thing now. Fighters, oh yes, the fighters just rip them apart. These will be excellent support ships. And I think we do get carriers in this age again. Yes, here, the Swordfish refit. That's excellent. I love that it's a refit, but we can only get 5 carriers of any kind at one time. So they say, Swordfish refit. With its better warp capabilities and brand new fighter complement, the Swordfish class is still an up-to-date fighter carrier. With 12 Penguin class fighters. That should be interesting. Let's actually try and research this. Now what do I need for that? Maybe it's just simply because we have 5 already. In that case, I'm sorry, I know you had a short life, but it's time for a decommissioning.
Decommission commencing.
All the crew will of course just be kept for the new ships.
Give the word.
305 for each ship. And your engines are somehow disabled.
All sections.
Yukon,
report.
will you do the honor, please?
Bring all weapons to bear.
Payback.
Enemy engaged.
Maybe this will be the thumbnail. Yes. Get rid of them. Good, no more spying. Now, get back to your position there, and we see another group coming through. The patrol is more than enough to deal with them.
Acknowledged.
Put 1 more turret here. 4 at every position, that's the rule.
That is a logical request.
Station construction commencing.
I have to say, ships like this, what is this called again? The Detroit class. I have to say I like them a lot because it's very unconventional design. And you know, actually this is reminding me of the Miranda class. Maybe this is the forerunner of the Miranda. I don't think we can build one of those.
Enemy engaged.
Now there's an Ares class that looks even more like a Miranda. Oh well, let's do some
Station
research in the meantime. Did we not already? What did that give us? Nothing. I need the escort cruiser. Maybe we're still busy with that. Yes, we are. What? They got that far into our territory? Are you crazy? This little destroyer is left on its own to deal with this?
All power to weapons. All power to engines.
I think I'm going to put the Oslo on a miniature patrol of its own, given its bravery there. Right there, just focus on that.
Research.
Right, so we're getting rid of the older class fighters now, and then we will replace them. We can also build new ships now. More reinforcements coming in. So this is the Detroit class. Not sure what that is about. Is a ship with the defensive capabilities of a cruiser, but with the armament and speed of a destroyer. Interesting, that's why it's a Detroit, I guess. The name is somehow a mix of the two. 2839. Really, I don't see the need for that. We just build more Kestrel classes. That's 40 and 40. And it's about the same price. It's even more expensive. I guess if you want the speed or something. But we need to go on to the light cruiser. I see there's another one up here. That's the Swordfish refit. Maybe we should start doing that while the others are decommissioned.
Enemy engaged. Starship construction commencing.
Alright, then when that is done, we'll give the order. Well, we can do it now. So where is the research post? Light cruiser, cheaper and faster cruiser type ships.
Research commencing.
We can also get a bit of supply, not that we really need it. One way to spend our excessive amounts of resources. I guess that was really the point of this whole sector and moving into the sector originally when we still were representing Earth. It's to access all of these abundant natural resources. So anyway, Africa, you are still going to be patrolling this, just so my flagship is close at hand.
Enemy engaged.
There's the Oslo, bravely holding the line.
Armed and ready.
I think we can use these two as well. We'll send them right to the
Didn't I read something
top
about
here.
starting a mission briefing?
Station is under attack.
Low movement autonomy, and you just park yourselves there. They're trying to push through here now. Again, it's a full frontal assault.
Starship
Almost through that one. No good. Still couldn't quite do it. Let's pull the construction ship back to the base.
That is a logical request.
So there's the new Swordfish refit. Let's have a look at that. Now we actually see the engines there, and otherwise it still looks pretty much the same, which I like. It's a refit, not a totally new design. So I guess maybe those other ones could only use impulse engines.
enemy
Then, of course, they still have their shuttle bays 1 and 2. Not sure what that is on the bottom. Maybe another shuttle bay. Just great. I love it. They're individually decommissioning the fighters as well. Never seen this before. Aww. Well, now we can actually take a closer look at the fighters. Since we've never been able to do that. So they have 3 engines there, and let's see if we can see anything else. There, so 2 weapons. Interesting, almost looks like a little blimp. Well, it's a nice little detail. Even nicer that they have to decommission all of them individually. So now that we have these new refits, we are moving them away with all of our previous crew.
Give the word.
305, so it looks the
Give the
same.
word.
Number 4, I believe, so you will park yourselves right here at the edge of the nebula. With no movement
Ready,
autonomy.
able.
enemy engaged.
Looks like the Oslo is going to see a lot of action here. Now, the next one is the Valley Forge class. To me, this is like the predecessor now of the Constitution class. So this is a light cruiser constructed from prefabricated modules. This method made the ships cheaper and faster to build, leading to the first mass-produced design of Starfleet. So we can see the defense is excellent. We've never had a higher one than that. So that's 57, but the offense is quite close to the Kestrel, 40 versus 34. Let's build one.
Starship construction.
And then we get to the, well, no, then it's the predecessor to the Constitution, I guess. That would be the Bellewood class. The Constitution is
Enemy
right there.
Engaged.
42, 57, 15. I'll build a lot of them when we do our final invasion of Klingon space. So actually, let's do all the research now. Assault transport cruiser. Now I guess we learned from the Klingons. We saw that assault transporter of theirs a long time ago, but we can also build an equivalent now. And then all that is left is the exploration cruiser, And as the name suggests, it gives access to starships designed for 5-year exploration missions, which is of course the Enterprise and others like it. Then the best one we can do is the semi-battleship. Battleships mainly designed for combat duty. Now if we have a look at that one, let's just see what else is here. Quetzalcoatl class, this is a semi-battleship. We can have 3 dreadnoughts. This one is 5172, that's incredible. Then we have another type of battleship, a Siegfried class,
Research complete.
4753, and the Swordfish, of course, we saw. There's another fighter carrier, the Al-Burak class. May carry fewer fighters than the Swordfish, but it is faster and has more powerful weapons of its own. Didn't even see that one. But I think we'll stick with the Swordfish, because we saw the pre-refit one as well. Let's just have a look at you. So you are the Valley Forge mass-produced class ship, and indeed again now this is even more reminiscent of the ultimate Starfleet ship of the original era. But it does have this little deck there. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe like a 10 forward almost. The Boxer, I like that. And it has its shuttle bays at the back of the saucer section. Can't see any impulse engines. You can just move to the front and low movement autonomy. Just support our fleet there. The Bellewood Assault Transport, so this is the Assault Transport, is based on the Valley Forge, but is modified to accommodate as many troopers, landing crafts and attack crafts as possible.
Starship
Let's build that.
construction commencing.
And then the 5-year mission, Exploration Cruiser. I'll end this episode once we get an Enterprise equivalent.
Enemy engaged.
And then in the next episode we'll end the series by invading and finishing off the Klingons and their aggression. We must also have that semi-battleship. There's another wave of attackers. Hopeless against these new fighters.
Station is under attack.
Just a little bit back from the nebula, please.
Altering course.
They're still decommissioning the fighters. Right, the exploration cruiser is now finished, so let's do the semi-battleship and let us build a Constitution class starship at last.
Station is under attack.
Actually, we can have a look. Here is the Piotr Veliki class.
Enemy
It's
engaged.
equal in almost any way. The Piotr Veliki class heavy cruiser never becomes as popular as the more famous counterpart, the Constitution. So this is another exploration class cruiser like the Constitution. So we'll build that one as well. 42, 58 and 14. 42, 57 and 15.
Starship complete.
Almost, it's almost like they say equivalent. The attack is exactly the same. It's slightly stronger in its defense, but its system value is slightly lower. So let's build a
Starship
Piotr
construction
Veliki.
commencing.
We can again imagine this is just another cruiser now, which it is. It's just sort of almost the front runner now of the Constitution. But then right here at the San Francisco yard, as it should be, coincidentally, we build the Constitution
Construction
class.
commencing.
Now this is definitely, each time I think now we have the thumbnail, but I think now we really have the thumbnail. And here they put it together. Now
Research
obviously this is not going to be the Enterprise, but we can imagine this is our equivalent to the Enterprise. Yes, yes. Ah, such an iconic ship. There's the warp nacelle. Scotty is going to be happy with that. Slowly welding it all together. Well, we'll come back to that when it's finished. That will be interesting.
Firing on
So here is the Wood class. So this is our attack cruise, our attack transport. We can see we have over 1,000 troops on this ship, plus of course the normal crew. And very interesting adaptation to the Valley Forge, because we see the engineering hull has been expanded here, and we now have 3 shuttle bays on each side, plus 1 at the back, plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the sides of the saucer section, and the saucer is also thicker in the middle. I guess then this at the back here, that is the impulse engine. Fantastic. Well, we're going to need one of you. I'll try and capture one of the Klingon construction ships so we can learn more about their technology. And this is, we'll look at that prize in the corner there in a moment. So this is the Washington, aptly named, and this is the Piotr Veliki class, also a 5-year exploration mission ship. Actually, this one is really interesting. Again, the unconventional designs appeal to me. So there's 3 shuttle bays, 1 at the back and 1 on each side of the saucer.
Enemy engaged.
Interesting. And then this sort of structure runs right through the middle to the front where the dish is, the deflector dish. It says Dauntless, but ignore that. Really interesting. Almost slightly reminiscent of the Akira class with this curvature here on the back of the saucer. Anyway, now what we all came to see, comrades, right there. The Constitution class. This is the
Give the word.
Potemkin, NCC 1657. Of course it's going to say, well, that's not actually the Enterprise number there. That says USS Congo 17010. But still, obviously the models will all have the same designation, but this is the Potemkin, 430 people. And now we are at the actual ship of the age. So I think we're going to end it here. I'll still use that other thumbnail because I want to see these ones in battle for the next episode's thumbnail. Then we will begin constructing our new mega ships. Now why can't I do the Siegfried? Battleship. Okay, this is the heavy battleship. So the other one there in the corner, the Quetzalcoatl, is a semi-battleship. It's still counted as a dreadnought, but the actual battleship is the Siegfried class. Interesting. Let's build a Quetzalcoatl just to see what it looks like. Can't build an Ares class. It also needs the battleship. Interesting, but it doesn't count as a dreadnought. 52, 55, 13. It's not quite as powerful, but it is basically as powerful as the Siegfried class. Interesting. Why is this? This is 51, 72. But the actual battleship is 4753. So the semi-battleship is stronger than the battleship.
Enemy engaged.
And they're still dying in vain.
Research complete.
Right, so we can now do the proper battleship. This one is 42... No, this one is 5255. It's even stronger than the Siegfried class dreadnought. In that case, I think we'll just build Quetzalcoatls, and then that's the 3 dreadnoughts, and then the rest will be Ares class because we are not limited there. But if I do that, we can't ever see the Siegfried. I want to at least see them all. So let's build one of those. And comrades, we will have a look at it in the next episode. Pause right here. So see you then. That will be the last episode of Star Trek Evolution. And we will mop up the Klingons. We will clean their chronometers, as it were. Have a fantastic day, comrades.